Hi, my name is Tara Walrad, and this is my Module 11 for School and Gift Giving. As an administrator, there are always some questions you need to ask yourself when it comes to gift giving, whether it be for staff, teachers, students, or community members. Think about, will the person be taking the item home? It's a gift. Will the item be utilized for personal use? Then it's a gift. Will the item stay if the staff were to leave or their contract be terminated? Is it an item because it should not be cash or a gift card? And this money does belong to the school, so it isn't to be loaned, borrowed, or given away. As far as student gifts, there are two different types that were mentioned in the text, and they were also the same two types that are mentioned in our school district. And there are incentive gifts and achievement gifts. Incentive gifts usually come from fundraising activities or something like that. And questions to ask yourself before a student receives an incentive gift is, did the student participate in the activity? Is it reasonable in cost so it doesn't affect the profit? And the gift should be purchased with profits from the fundraising activity. That's where the money should come from. If it's an achievement gift, does it honor students for a specific accomplishment? For example, at my school we give medals, certificates for community service, participation in different athletic events, academic things, spelling bees, geography bees, things like that. Is it reasonable in value, like a medal or a certificate or candy? And the gift can be purchased from our general funds. However, it could also be purchased from PTO funds or donations. Here are just some different gift ideas I put up here. We do, as I mentioned, give certificates, medals for students who do 25 or more hours of community service or maybe win the spelling bee or something like that. We do give away birthday pencils to students when it's their birthday, and every student does get to receive one then throughout the year. And we do that even for summer birthdays. They get on their half birthday. Then up in the corner, there's some stickers, squishy balls, things like that. Those are kind of incentive gifts we give for different fundraising activities throughout the year. For example, if students sell 2 Major Saver cards, they might get a squishy soccer ball. If they sell 4, they might get the soccer ball plus, something else. So it's those types of gifts that we're giving away, though. And then I put an X through the X box because you should never give gifts that are that large or big. And again, that can begin to affect profit. I do feel it necessary to mention food and students when it comes to gifts, because sometimes we do tie that into an incentive, or we tie that in maybe to an achievement with a party or something. And we are allowed to purchase food for students with our school funds. However, there are some rules. When you do turn in your receipt with the food, the purchaser must document who received the food, so a roster or list of names, what it was used for. Was it instructional or was it for a prize, something like that? When did you purchase the food, and when did you use it? And then again, why? That needs to be documented with any receipt that involves food. As far as gifts for staff, the text did not split up staff and teachers, and neither does our school district. In our handbook, I noticed everything just says staff. So there are 3 different types of gifts related to staff. There are special occasion gifts, fundraising incentive gifts, and then all staff gifts. As far as special occasion gifts, we're talking baby showers, wedding showers, death of a loved one, something like that. The book called it a remembrance committee. We currently call ours our social committee. My last school called it the celebration committee, but it's typically a committee of staff members in your school, and every staff donates to that group, and then that money is used for staff things throughout the year. So for baby showers, wedding showers, appreciation days, stuff like that. And then we do have written bylaws, like how much is to be spent on the different types of things, like a baby shower, I think is $50, a wedding shower, or something like that. And the committee does meet regularly, and then again, you just need to make sure everything is reasonable in price. As far as all staff gifts, this is a little different, because instead of being paid for with staff funds for staff, this is actually paid for with general funds. It's typically profits from like a teacher's lounge drink machine, like we have a pop machine in our teacher's lounge. Money like that is used to buy all staff gifts. They're typically inexpensive, they need to be tangible, and again, every staff member receives. So an example would be a staff t-shirt. We receive a staff t-shirt at the beginning of every year with our theme on it, and every staff gets one. Our school district does not allow food or drink purchases for staff. That started maybe 5 or 6 years ago. we used to be able to like have breakfast or something like that for a meeting. That's no longer allowed. So we bring it in ourselves. That's fine, but we're not allowed to purchase it with our school funds. As far as fundraising incentive gifts for staff, these are typically for staff members who participated. It's typically teachers because it's typically the classroom that raises the most money for something or something like that. So it's typically the teacher wins something if their class all participates or something along those lines. It needs to be a reasonably priced gift. It's typically paid for with the fundraising money, just like student ones were. Gifts for community members. We are allowed to purchase gifts for community members with our school funds as long as there is no conflict of interest, no misuse of the funds donated to the charity or the community member. It needs to, again, be a reasonable amount. An example might be like a PTO survival kit you see there for our new PTO president, something like that. We do have monthly assemblies, and one that comes to mind is we had a mother come in and talk about her cancer foundation and to our students because it related to one of our students. So she was asked to come in and talk. So we did make a small donation to her foundation because she didn't accept any money to come talk to our students. Typically, though, community member donations are through like a school drive, donations from students, or a parent organization. It's very rare that we spend a lot of money on community members' gifts as far as that goes. I did find a district policy on the receipt of gifts by employees, which I found was a little bit interesting. If you look at number 2, it says, except as provided above, a school district employee may accept gifts and or promotional items of value for personal use where the receipt does not present a conflict of interest and the value of the gift does not exceed $100, which was just the only policy I found on gift giving. It's in our handbook, but there's not a district policy. This one actually is a policy related to gift giving. If in question, contact district office for approval. I really feel like as an administrator, any gift to a student, staff, teacher, community member that I feel is in question, it's just easier to call and find out. You never want to break board policy or state law, so just get it pre-approved if in doubt. And then also, I think you should always consider asking a parent organization instead to fund a gift. Then you don't have to worry that you're using general funds in any way that someone might question or see as not utilizing funds the way they should be utilized. And it just kind of keeps the administrator out of it. So we try to do that as our school when it comes to gifts. And then here are my resources. Thanks so much.